Hello, world. Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of the Game and Watch podcast. Today is a special episode. As you see, we have some friends from another show here. Our friends from Media Glitch, welcome. How are you guys?
What's going on? Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, you're coming in loud and clear. Cag, how you doing?
Pretty good. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you loud and
Awesome.
clear. We're missing
Awesome.
X, but
Awesome.
he'll be joining us in a moment. And then Too Tall for you, Full. How are you, sir?
What's going on, F? How you doing?
I'm doing all
He's too
too
tall
well.
for us. That's for
He
sure.
is.
Yeah,
He
I'm
is.
not.
He's
I'm not
been
that tall.
towering over me. Yeah.
I mean, I've been taller over him for years, but yeah. I guess I am pretty tall. I guess when you met me, yeah, I'm taller than you guys for the most
Well,
part.
I'm okay. Well, what's cool was when I met you, you are taller than me. But when I met you, me and you are about the same height. I'm like this
Yeah.
little Mexican guy, and like when I stand by Cag or I stand by Reggie, I look like the Hobbit, and they're like Gandalf's. So
Yeah. You guys all need to calm down for sure with
it
that.
was good. Finest is like around my height, right? I think we were around the right height.
Yeah, we were somewhere right there for sure.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Well, let's go ahead and knock out some of the basic stuff out of the way real quickly. Thank you all for watching another episode of the Game and Watch podcast. We are available on all listening platforms. So your Apple, your Spotify, your Twitch, iHeartRadio, wherever you want to find us, we're here for you. Other than that, if you let's see, if you want to write in, email us personally. You can email us at Game and Watch Podcast with your questions and comments. But even more importantly, if you want to write in during the show, we have our segment at the end of the show. What is it called again? Chat room. I think we call it still.
Chat room,
Chat room.
chat room
Yeah,
comments.
I
Chat
chat
room
my
comment.
pants.
yeah.
That's called.
Yes. You chat your
Chat.
pants at the
I
end of the
chat my
show.
pants.
At
Yeah.
the end of the show.
Okay.
And then if you want to support this craziness, you can do that at patreon.com/ourviewgaming. Now, we usually kick off the show by talking about what we're playing and kind of just go into all that madness. But we're gonna hold that off for that. We're gonna hold
Okay.
off, and we're gonna do that for our main topic of discussion, along with just chatting it up with you guys a little bit more. But in the meantime, we are gonna jump into our news stories. We are going to speak about, let's see, D23 and all the Disney announcements there. We're also going to talk about Assassin's Creed and the Ubisoft Forward, along with some other news. Other than that, let's see. Are you guys ready to dive in?
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our news. Let's see. So, for our gaming news callouts, let's see. The first item that we have on the list, Mike Bithell is developing a fresh new Tron game. And let's see, this article comes from IGN, and this is going to be from the D23 event. But essentially, Mike Bithell is they gave a brief teaser with, of course, that expert Tron music, that electronica vibe. But it's kind of a different type of Tron game than we've recently experienced. This one is going to be a detective story set in the grid. First off, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Cag. Have you played any previous Tron games?
I did. I played Tron. I think it was on 360. I think the last iteration I played at Tron, and
Mhm.
I just don't really think that they can ever take the idea of Tron and do very well with it in a video game. I mean, I'm looking forward to this one, and hopefully it'll come through. But in the one that I played previous, it was just mid. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing special. So let's
Yep.
hope that they can put some spit and polish on this one and actually come with a good story and graphics and stuff. That'd be pretty awesome.
Hey, I appreciate that. X, can you hear me over there? How you doing?
Oh, X.
Thing is working now.
There's a little bit of a delay, and
He was.
yeah,
X is on that cricket internet.
Yeah.
I broke my mic, so if there's something going on, I'm so sorry.
I've heard of rage quitting.
Sounds pretty cruddy.
I've heard of rage quitting and like throwing your remote, but your mic. Would you sit on it?
It happens, I guess.
I stepped on it.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
so sorry.
Hey, that's what she said. Okay.
I told him. I told him to get a mic long ago. Come on, X.
Oh my gosh. Well, continuing on. Let's see. Media glitch. There's been quite a series of Tron games. I think the most notable one is going to be, what was that? Was that on Super Nintendo? If I'm not wrong, or was that on Atari?
There's one on. Wait, what was the question? Sorry, the PS3.
Oh, I was getting. What I was getting to was, are you a Tron fan, and do you think you'll be essentially jumping into this detective story?
Tron is garbage, man. First of all, let me just say, I remember we in Mexico we'd have movie nights, right? And so like everyone got to pick a movie, and my buddy was just like, "You got to watch Tron, it's epic. You got to watch Tron, it's epic." And none of us had seen it, and so he brought Tron over, and boy, were we bored out of our minds. We were like, "This is trash." So I don't have any kind of like, I could care less. I've seen the Disney reveal, like the graphics and everything, and it's like, this could have been on a mobile game. It doesn't do anything for me graphically. It just, it's just not there for me. I'm not, and if you love Tron, that's great. Hey, here you go, you got something. But for me, zero excitement. There was nothing there for me. So.
Well, I appreciate the honesty. I mean, you can't get any more honest than that, for sure. Oh man. Well, I'm not gonna make you guys talk about it anymore. That would be rude of me. But before we move on, Too Tall, did you have any comments or thoughts about this detective
Tron,
game? That's
honestly, I've never played a Tron game ever, and I haven't seen the movie either. So. Next.
Exactly.
I'm okay, man. I'm okay.
Well, in our Discord, Too Tall, I did see there was a little bit of affinity for this next announcement. But a new co-op Mickey game was announced by Illusion, or a new Mickey game called Illusion Island was announced exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. It is a 4-player co-op. I believe it was Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Minnie. Yeah, were the players that they showcased. And Too Tall, didn't you say you wanted to jump into that one for when that one comes out?
It looks good. I mean, I'm not sure if that was the game I was talking about, but I would not mind jumping into this one at all. It looks real good, especially with the co-op fun, if you can play with your friends or whatever. And I just love the animation style of Mickey Mouse, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy in that, funny looking thing. So it's about time they made a video game with Mickey and his friends with this art style. I mean, I'm ready for it. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, that art style definitely has like that classic, steamboat Mickey look.
And I think it's the new style though, because I watched a couple of these with my kids. If you haven't watched them, holy smokes, they're hilarious.
Yeah, they are some of the funniest things. If you guys have Disney Plus, and
oh my gosh,
do yourself a favor, watch some of those Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are hilarious. But
they are so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would play this game. I mean, it looks pretty good for the most part from what I've seen so far. I saw a little like clip of the 4 of them running. I mean, I guess they have different abilities. Like Donald can swim, I guess, and I'm really not sure what Goofy can do. But I mean, I know they have like different abilities from what I was looking at when I was doing some further research on the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this game's set to come out in 2023, so it's around the corner, more or less. Let's see. was there, I don't know, was there any excitement around this one, Cag, for you? Is there any nostalgia? Do you plan on playing with any your kids? I don't know if you have kids, but I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, I do have kids, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember the Castle Illusion games. Mickey Mouse games have actually been pretty good through the time. You look at
Yeah.
what happened, came out on Genesis and all the stuff
Yeah.
after that. They've actually did pretty well because I mean, Mickey is the face of Disney, right? So they usually don't want to put anything out that doesn't feel good and doesn't probably play well. So I'm definitely gonna play. I'm definitely gonna look at it. I didn't get to see this art style, so this is kind of new to me because I do have Disney Plus, but I haven't had a chance to actually watch that show. But I'm very interested in actually watching it. It reminds me of kind of like the Cuphead art style. Is kind of what they're going for. So it looks pretty good. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for definitely like any game with like hand drawn animations. So
Mm-hmm.
like Cuphead is a great one. We were talking about fighting games prior to the show, and we were talking about like Guilty Gear. We were talking about like Grand Blue and stuff like that. Just
Oh yeah,
anything with hand drawn animation, like I'm all in for. As long as the gameplay mechanics are there, but the art style has to be there on top of that. Otherwise, I kind of check out early.
yeah, yeah.
X. How about yourself, sir? Let's see. Are you interested in this Mickey game? And there's probably gonna be a 5-second delay, so take your time.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't like the arts. However, I have to get used to it because the
Yeah.
day of pixels are starting to go away. But I wish it had a Capcom twist on it. A lot of key games I liked. What is it? Goof Troop, the game. Any of the games that were on the Game Boy, with Capcom, very, very, very good. I have to give it a try. I have to be open-minded to it. I would want online co-op. That's the issue that we're seeing now.
yeah.
Games, that they're banking on our nostalgia, but not giving us quality while we play these games.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned Goof Troop. Goof Troop, hidden gem of the SNES. I mean,
Yes,
that's a
it
good
is.
one.
For
Yeah,
sure.
no, totally agree. And I totally agree there. I mean, we're pretty much on the same page, I would say then, just in terms of like the art style, like you kind of have to get used to it. I did watch the cartoon on the Disney Channel, but my kid's only 3 years old, and this was like the cartoon is very mature.
Yeah. It's
It is
not.
made
It's
for
not.
adults.
It's
Yeah.
not Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Mickey Mouse. I mean, it's like definitely rated TV Y7, maybe even 10. Like, yeah, I wouldn't have your little 5-year-old watching it if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty mature. But I mean, yeah, Cag, do yourself a favor. If you haven't seen those cartoons, like each episode is only like maybe 5 to 10 minutes at the most. Like, just do yourself a favor, just watch a few.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you'll just get hooked.
Now that I know about it, I'm gonna probably check them out tonight after dinner tonight. I like the direction that Disney is going on some of their stuff, where they're allowing it to be a little bit more mature. And then also with other things in their library are starting to do like more like R-rated and PG-13 stuff. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, we did just get totally off topic, but they did this a couple months ago, but they announced Deadpool 3, and they're
Yes.
like, "Oh yeah, like it's gonna be rated R, and it's coming,
Yep.
and we're gonna do other rated R movies." So I mean, look at Disney; they're kind of
Disney
doubling
going
down
rated
on
R?
games, yeah, and they're
Rated R
bringing,
film from Disney. Right on. I like it. Oh,
yeah,
I
I'm
like
just
it.
I'm ready for that rated M game.
Yeah.
X wants that Disney porn too. He's been waiting for that right now.
Stupid.
Donald does Daisy. Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, guys, probably my favorite announcement from the D23 is this next topic. Let's see. So the 1995 Sega Gargoyles is getting a video game remaster. So this article came from us from IGN, but I mean, gosh, this game, I didn't even know this game existed. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm hoping it's coming. Like, I hope it's also for Game Gear, because I recently just bought a Game Gear. But other than that, I mean, I would say, is anyone else really excited about this? Let's start with UX. Have you ever played the 1995 Gargoyles game, and are you excited for this one?
I have played it. I've owned it. I've traded it in. I got it back in a while. It plays great. It plays great. This is one of those things again where they're trying to bank on the nostalgia. Gargoyles was very niche. This was not crazy popular. It was popular once it got off the air, and then we got to see all these reruns on the Disney Channel. That's the whole thing about this being successful. I see this turning into one of those games that you see at GameStop that are going to be $20 and use a VIP coupon on it. I don't see this being successful. I don't see it following.
Okay, that's fair.
Wow.
I think we caught half of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the good part is they are bringing back the cartoon. So they are banking on our nostalgia.
Yeah. I see they are.
Yes, absolutely. Cag, are you ready to jump into some gargoyles?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so the cartoon I thought was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
I watched the cartoon as a younger, and I thought it was great. It was entertaining. There was back when we were younger, there was a variety of cartoons that we loved. Right, this is one of them. The game, when it came to Genesis, and by the time I was playing Genesis, I was not focused on the game. So as a remaster of a Sega Genesis game, I want to try it. I'll give it a try. It'll probably be $3.99, $4.99. If it's just a remaster of a Genesis game, I don't see it being that expensive. And it looks like it has a little bit of platforming in it. So, yeah, I'll give it a try. I'm not ecstatic about it, but I did love the cartoon. The cartoon was dope. So I did like that.
Yep, right there with you. Joel, it looks like you got something to say, man. You're over here. I see that head shaking. What's going on over there?
No.
I see that mind brewing. What's happening in that mind of yours? Please, just lay it on us.
Well, you never asked me my opinion about the Mickey Mouse game, and I'll just say,
Oh man.
I'll just say, I'm a little mad that it's a Nintendo Switch exclusive because the Nintendo Switch has the worst online, and so like whenever we try to play 4-player stuff, it's a disaster. So I'm a little bummed about that, but I'm excited for that game. As far as Gargoyles goes, on this, here's the thing: Gargoyles on the Sega Gen, I get Aladdin, I get Lion King, those are
even Jungle Book
blockbuster stellars, yeah. But Gargoyles, like not very many people play Gargoyles, right? And and is that all that's going to be on the disc? Because you can fly through Gargoyles on the Sega Genesis in about 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. You can fly through that whole game. So unless this thing is $4.99, I wouldn't pick it up. I mean, it is a cash grab if that's the case. I didn't know that I didn't even know this was being remastered. Like when you just said it just now, I was like, what? That's bananas.
Yeah.
Because Gargoyles, like, one, that cartoon's like super duper old, right? So I mean, if they release that, if they re-release it, it's got to be good, and people got to care about it. If they're banking on selling copies of this thing, is it physical? They haven't announced none of that.
They haven't announced any of that. No details on that yet. But they're not bringing back the old cartoon. They're bringing a continuation of the cartoon, so it's semi-relevant again. But I mean, I know we kind of chatted about this when we first met you guys, but I watch this game's going to be like, it's coming. It's only going to be a Nintendo, or we don't know the consoles, but it'll probably be like based on just general remasters. I'm probably thinking it's going to be like $14.99 at least. Like $14 or $19.99, even though it's like an old Sega Genesis game. Like if we look at other remasters, like it's kind of rough.
See, yeah, I'm not buying into that. Not at all.
See, I think they're using. I think they're going to use the new show as the mask of the masquerade, right? Because what's going to happen is they're going to bring out this new show. Everybody's going, oh, this is pretty dope. It's probably going to be a good show. New animation, new style, new actors, right? So the show's probably going to be good. And then they're going to have a game out there that people have likely never played, right? So people are okay, I want to try this game out. And they're going to get all this money based off the show, and the game's not good. So it's like a masquerade party, man. You take the mask off, and you're like, you got hot garbage here with a little bit of paint on it. So we'll see. I'm interested in the show, though. more than anything, I'm really interested in the show. I really, like I said, I really love the avenue Disney's going with all of this stuff, man. So I'm looking forward to the show. Game, not so much.
It's probably going to do gangbusters because gamers are sheep. And if you just say retro remaster, that's all you
There
just
you go.
made that commercial. All these suckers are going to buy it because they don't want to be left out. They don't want to be left out.
I mean,
they don't want to miss the next big thing, man.
That's
just
how nostalgia
be smart,
is, though.
gamers in the world. Be smart. Let's see what happens. See if it's even worth it, and then buy it on sale. You don't need it day one. My goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I know for me growing up, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I mean, I'm a big Disney Afternoon fan. I was not very interested in this show. I'm just being very honest. And until I was reading the article, I forgot that they even made a video game for this. And well, I was a Super Nintendo kid growing up, so it came out on the Sega Genesis. It came out like toward like the late lifetime of its cycle. So I mean, I think a lot of people probably missed on it. Going on to the PlayStations and N64s and whatnot, Sega Saturn. So I mean, I'm sure there is a lot of people who haven't played it. I mean, do I want to give it a try? I mean, yes, I'll just emulate the original game before making that decision. But I am curious to see how the new cartoon show will actually do. Not really so much the game. I mean, if it's just a remaster of a game that you can fly through in about 40 minutes to an hour, then I mean, I don't think that's worth it. I think Disney should remaster, one of their other Disney Afternoon properties, like say Goof Troop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Or Tailspin or the
What is it?
remastered of the Chippendales.
Yeah, Chippendales.
Like they
So
did
just had that
DuckTales,
movie.
right?
Yeah.
Like
I
I get
think,
DuckTales, I get all those, but here's the crazy thing, man. Not very many. Me and Cag, I know for a fact, we're Sega Genesis boys. I'm
Yes.
shocked he didn't play it, but it's crazy. No one's gonna admit that. Like, this is the sheep culture nation. I just get so aggravated by. Everyone's gonna be like, yes, I get to relive my childhood. I'm like, sucker, you ain't never played this. But they're gonna it's all gonna be like, yes, I get to relive my childhood.
I mean, I'm being honest. I never played it, so I mean, I just want to see what the game's about. I mean, I saw some gameplay that Finance put in the outline. It looks all right. I mean,
it's pretty
nothing
like
to jump up and down about, in my opinion.
Dude, it's really stale as far as like Sega Genesis games go. Like color wise and everything, it's the same palette on a lot of the stages.
Yeah, it's a
You know
lot of
what I
gray.
mean? Yeah,
grays and
like,
grays and reds.
It's one of those like, remember Alien 3? It's just that like on the Super Nintendo or on the Sega Genesis, it's like that same like just dark palette of like you have like the red, I believe, the underworld that he's in, if I remember, and then you got city stuff, and it's all like a red, blue, and a black, and that's it. The whole game.
Yeah.
It's like
Those are my favorite colors, so it sounds perfect for me.
I don't know. Someone at a board. Yeah, no. It looks cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's the same of all the way through. You're not going to get a nice stage. You're not going to get a jungle stage. You're not going to get, you know what I mean? Like the normal tropes that we get in gaming. You're not getting that.
Oh man. Well, that's okay. That's okay. That's enough. That's enough gargoyles. Now I'm depressed. I give up. Okay.
Sorry,
gargoyles. It's okay.
And I say with Omega Sonic, man, I agree with him. Let's bring back Jet Set Radio, shall we, please?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know the company offhand, but there's another company that's making a Jet Set Radio like. Their game was just recently delayed to 2023, but it's coming out next year. So if someone in the chat wants to pull up that game, love to know a little bit more about it. I could pull up the image a little bit later. But in terms of the only really big news at D23 this year, Skydance New Media revealed their new Marvel Adventure game at D3. So this is going to be Amy Hennig's first game that's coming out probably in the last 13 years plus. As every game that she participates in gets canceled. But she started this new studio in 2019 called Skydance New Media. And she's leading development on this Black Panther Captain America game set in World War II. Let's see. I mean, guys, do we have any fans of, or are any of you any fans of, Insomniac Spider-Man, or are you looking forward to the Wolverine game? Marvel is going big like they are in their movies, so I'm just curious to know, like, is anyone particularly excited? And then, what do you think you can expect from this game? Joel, I'll start off with you, sir.
Well, I actually saw the teaser for this, and it's exactly what I say. It is a teaser. It shows us absolutely zero.
Yep.
On gameplay, on anything. There's nothing there. It's just a pretty. It's like what we got for Wolverine, right? Or is that what it's called? Wolverine Logan. He's sitting in the bar.
Yeah, I think you. But
like
at least you. Yeah. Did we even get a trailer for this one? I don't even remember.
Yeah, we did.
There was a quick.
There's a teaser.
Okay.
Right, and you see like some things. You see the shield, and it says, you see Black Panther crawl from.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But it's nothing. It's not enough to base an opinion on. Am I excited? I don't know. When Marvel cash grabs, they crash grab. When Marvel does things good, they do things good. So it's like it could be hit or miss, right? Like you never know, I would love an Ultimate Alliance. That'd be great.
Anyway. on all systems, not just the
right,
not just the Switch.
Exactly.
I was extremely upset about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 being exclusive to the Switch. That was one of the only reasons I had a Switch when I did have a Switch, and they had so much awesome DLC for that game. They had, I think it was like 3, 4, or 5 DLCs for that game, so that was pretty awesome. Now, as far as this new game we're talking about now, I don't know anything about it. They haven't showed anything about it. We don't know what this game's going to be. Now, it's awesome that they have Black Panther and my boy Steve Rogers, setting it up. But, like, what's the story? You know what I'm saying? I mean, where are they going with this? Like, does it spin off from Captain America's time in Wakanda because of, the whole Civil War thing? Or, like, is that what they're playing on? Like, so it's hard to say, man. I'm looking forward to it because it's Marvel, but I have no clue what this is going to be.
So let me say this real quickly. The words in the trailer, at the end of the trailer, the words flash: King, Captain, Soldier, Spy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Soldier,
Spy. Yeah, Soldier and Spy. So I really hope this isn't a Marvel Avengers like. I hope it's not essentially an online multiplayer game where you're playing like 4 different players, and each one of you take a different role in accomplishing the mission, whatever the mission may be. I really hope this is kind of where Amy Henning's like bread and butter is, like with the Uncharted series, and just like a single player story driven game where we get to like really develop the characters and really just evolve them throughout the game. That being said, X just left us. Never mind.
Welcome to Media Glitch.
For me, I mean, I just hope it's somewhere on the level that the excitement of Spider-Man. Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy was a good one. I still haven't finished it yet. It was good, but I think like the best last Marvel game I played, Spider-Man Miles Morales. They can capture that energy for me, then I think it'll be a good game. But in terms of like the plot or what it'll be about, I think just a photo, a little teaser just isn't enough to go off on. So, but, I mean, I'm looking forward to it though. I mean, Black Panther. I mean, my wife likes it. I like it. So.
I need you guys to satiate my creative mind. I just have this, this so much going because I don't know what it is. I'm eager to find out.
My issue, I think, with this new studio, I just don't see that they're going to have the funding to bring what you want. Yes, I want what you want. I want this story-driven, awesome game. But just starting out, are they going to have, the type of budget to bring that to the table? So I think, honestly, I think it's going to be a smaller scale game.
I agree.
Unfortunately. This could end up just. Did they announce any consoles for it? Because this could end up being a mobile game. It could end up going straight to like Apple Game Store. Like it could just be like something totally different from what we expect.
You know what this is going to be,
And
Kag?
then, what's that?
I think it's going to be like that 4-player Tomb Raider game. That's
top down. Yeah,
my thought.
down.
Which wasn't a bad game, but it's not going to be Miles Morales.
No. And then to go off of what Justin up there said about Guardians of the Galaxy, listen, if you guys haven't played Guardian of the Galaxy, buy it. It's cheap now. It's worth to play. I was just
free on
playing it the
PlayStation
day.
Plus.
I was just playing it the day before yesterday. The game is
Premium.
amazing. Graphically, it's amazing. The banter between, the whole cast is amazing. So that one really, really was overlooked, man. It's such a fantastic game.
Yeah, no, totally agree. I championed that in our group last year. It took everyone a very long time to get around to it. Too Tall still going through it, and then a couple other people in our Discord just like, I think it came out free on Game Pass. Was that correct? And I think that's when they finally got to it.
Yeah, it was free on Game Pass. I had bought the collector's edition that came with the Steelbook because I knew I was going to play it. But man, I love the game, man. I just I haven't made it too far. What's the
Gamora?
No, the chick you fight. You go to her. You go to her palace and you're trying to pawn off Rocket.
The Monster Queen. Yeah, I don't know her. I don't remember her name, but yeah.
I was upset because that fight could have been so much better in that game. I wanted to fight her instead of her little army or whatever, because she was boss, man. She looked at boss. She, her story in comics is amazing. They should have let us fight her, man. It would have been dope.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and jump on to our next topic, unless anyone has anything else to say on that last announcement. All right. So speaking of smaller announcements, I'm just going to do some quick mentions just so we can say that we talked about it real quickly. If there's anything that piques any of your interest, please don't hesitate to jump in. But developers at Newverse, essentially they revealed Marvel Snap. Speaking of mobile games right there. So you'll be able to
grabs.
Yep, right there. Joel, I can totally see you and Venom, just like Venom, like right there next to you. You and your kids, just like, hey, what's going on?
That's a card game too, right? So like double cash grab.
That particular one, you do collect cards in order to take pictures with the particular characters, and then beyond that one, Disney Dreamlight Valley, they're adding a Toy Story realm. So to the game that's already out. So if you wanted to jump back into that game and you're a fan of Toy Story, there goes a great reason.
I'm gonna buy it. What's crazy is so they sent me a review code for it, but it was on PC and I was like, what? I've never even heard of this. Nah, no, I'm not gonna. I pass, right? Mm-hmm. And then I went to church today, and like 3 people were talking about this Disney game. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I saw someone playing the Switch and they were playing this Disney game. These are older people. They're not like kids, right? Yeah. And they're like, man, I'm addicted. I'm addicted to this. I guess it's like, what's that one that X likes that I've never played and we always rag on them about? The Crossing? What is it? Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, yeah.
I guess it's like people who love that. And so I'm thinking about picking it up for my kids because everyone's like, talking about it right now. So.
Yeah, here it has like Animal Crossing elements in the game. So if you're into that and you love Disney, I guess it's a match made in heaven.
That's right.
There you go. Yeah. Let's see. And for our next topic, Marvel Midnight Suns gets a new release date for everything except for the Switch. So Marvel Midnight Suns, if you are excited for...
I got a review code for that too. And I denied it. I'm like, because it's a tactical. I'm not into tactical games, man. So I don't redeem a code unless I'm going to review it, right? So it's like thanks, but no thanks. It just doesn't. It's not for me. Marvel or not.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that type of XCOM game, and that one's a card-based game also. So if
no offense to anyone who loves those games, because John from Media Glitch loves tactical card stuff like that. It's not me, man. It's just not me. That's not my gaming style. There's too much to play. Download that. Right?
I'm looking behind you and I'm like, oh, that back catalog must be.
When you say backlog, this is nothing. This used to
be
what's
your garage look like.
This used to be a PS2 wall. Remember, CAG? All that
Yeah.
was PS2, and I was just like, I'm never gonna get to this, and so I started selling it.
Yeah.
All right. And for our next topic, let's see, our next announcement. We roll through this. We got a couple more. Let's see. Marvel is getting an AR game from the makers of Pokemon Go. Um, yeah. And then other than that
That's
one,
cool,
Alien.
actually.
Yeah.
Looks all right.
If
Oh,
I was gonna
yeah.
say, if I was gonna like out of the games you just mentioned, that one's perked me the most interest because I think, and hopefully they do it right. Like where Pokemon Go, when it came out, it was gigantic, it was normal, but they
Mhm.
didn't know what to do. They couldn't handle that. So hopefully they learned from their mistakes because Pokemon Go is actually a great idea, and it's genius. And I was wondering, like, I thought we were gonna get an influx of games like that, and we never did. And so
Well-
I'll be interested to see what they do with this.
Hopefully they can handle it this time.
Exactly right.
see,
Niantic just
the
canceled
thing-
a whole bunch of games. I'm sorry. Cag, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, the thing about Pokemon Go, that game fits an AR style game, right? Because you're out in your everyday life. You can find Pokemon. So I'm trying to figure out how a Marvel game would go AI. Like, what would you do? Would you just like find battles? Would you fight people like on the go? Because you ain't catching
Good
Marvel
question.
characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I need a little bit more context to the game before I'm like, okay, this is great. But you're right. Pokemon Go was amazing at the time. I was working for a cell phone company. Is a company called T Rock, and everywhere we went, people were playing Pokemon Go. People were crashing their cars playing Pokemon Go because they were playing while they were driving. Like it was a phenomenon, you know. And if you can just grab a tenth of that craze, your game's gonna be successful. But what does a Marvel game have to do with that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, we
based
gotta
on
wait and
the
see.
article that I have here, it says, let's see, much like Pokemon Go, Marvel World of Heroes will let players use their mobile devices for AR gameplay on the go. The game allows players to create their own superhero identity and take on powerful foes with friends. In the trailer, we see players using a collection of powers that have become staples of the Marvel comics, including Thor's hammer, Cyclops' laser, and Doctor Strange sorcery. And I'll just end it right there. But yeah, I don't know. The only thing with that is like, well, Pokemon, you point at the camera like at just an area, and then you saw a Pokemon running. Do you have to point your phone at another person to see their powers, or are you like flipping the screen to look at yourself in order to see your powers? Like, because otherwise,
Can't
I
do
mean,
that. That'd be weird.
you're gonna be like waving your hands around, and people are gonna be like, "What is going on over there?"
Like,
Yeah.
what kind
And
of
I think
update
when
did
it comes
Pokemon
to-
Go get? What the flip?
when it comes to like when it comes to Marvel, right, and things like that, one thing I already don't like about the game is you creating your own character and developing your own powers. When it comes to Marvel, you want to play as the characters you grew up watching and loving. You want to play as those characters because on 360 they did a game. It was an Xbox game, X-Men game that flopped really bad because you had all of the X-Men, but you never got to play with the X-Men. You played as a character you created that you had to build a history. People don't like that. If you're playing like an X-Men game, you want to play as Wolverine or Cyclops or those guys. You play Spider-Man, you want to play as Spider-Man. You don't want to play as this fake created character, you know, that you created. You want to play as the people you love. So we'll see how that works, man.
If that's the case, Marvel Midnight Suns is in trouble. Also, in that one, you create your own character. Also, so
I'm so glad I didn't take that code then.
Yeah, man.
all right, let's see, and let's go ahead and plow through these last couple ones. But Aliens: Dark Descent was showing off for the first time.
Yes.
Yes,
Have you seen the trailer?
I saw the trailer. Yeah, in the D23 announcement. Yeah,
Dude. Okay, so I'm big. We're Alien fans. Me and Cag, we played Firewatch.
I like Isolation.
Isolation is great. So,
Mhm.
and even Firewatch was fun. We had a good time with it. There just wasn't enough content, and you only played 3 players. That was kind of a bummer. But we had a really good time with it. So Aliens kind of been on a roll. You know, we haven't, because they weren't on a roll before, and so it's good to see them back. It looks like they got a nice, cool little story going on. The aliens in the cinematic look great. we haven't seen, again, no gameplay, no nothing like that.
Yeah.
But it looks dark as hell. This one looks really, really dark. And the I would say the facial captures and the graphics are kind of subpar. They're not bad, but they're okay. But I'm excited. I'm ready. I mean, give it to me.
Yeah, that one's going to be for the PS4, the Xbox, Xbox One.
No, the Switch only crap.
Series X.
Yeah.
None of those Switch only. I think it's only console it's not announced for. Yeah.
My thing is, anytime they announce games like this, and they announce them for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, it breaks my heart a little bit, right? Because this is not going to be the type of game we want. Yeah, because you have to let it run on past generation consoles across the board. I would have really been happy if this was like PS5, Xbox One X
exclusive,
series, exclusive, or PC, because in that that they can go in heavy on what it is. It could be 120, 60, definitely 60 frames per second, 120, but it's going to be a 30 top down types shooting game, which I'm going to play because anything aliens, man.
Yeah,
I'm a fan. I don't care what it is. I love Aliens. Prometheus, definitely one of my favorite movies of any Aliens franchise ever. I want more of that. So, I'm with it. I'm going to play it. I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to play it. So
we're definitely seeing more of that, though. I mean, we're seeing like older generations, slowly being left behind, and as they get more consoles out there, I mean, it's going to come. It's just, man, it's rough out there. I know I've been seeing a lot of PS5s restocked. Series X's, you can, for the most part, go in the store. Switches, I've been seeing everywhere, easy as can be. Yeah, but it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave those, 200 plus, like million units, 200 million units behind. I mean, that's money in the bank right there.
Yeah,
I get why they do it, right?
Yeah,
you hit it right on the head. It ain't okay. Keep this in mind. Anybody is watching, it ain't because of you. It's because of your console. It ain't leaving that money behind. The potential to sell 100 million copies. Well, they're never going to sell 100 million copies, but the potential, because the consoles are out there, just the potential to sell that is the reason to put it out there, right? So I fully understand that. But it does, the people that have moved on and are like, hey, where's my game? My PS5 only games. Where's my Xbox Series X game? We're like, yo, stop carrying the dead weight. Force them to upgrade. Force them. What is the movie 300? The Spartans. Yeah. If you couldn't participate, they threw you off a cliff.
As a baby.
Right. throw them to the fire and make
throw
them
those
jump
babies off the cliff.
Yeah, make them jump in the pit and play with the big boys, because the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are being held back by older consoles, man. It really is the truth, man. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
it is.
Yeah, we'll see if this generation gets extended. Because we're probably going to see a midlife cycle refresh or something to that regard.
Oh, we'll see the pros. The pros will be out 2024. I think is when we'll see a pro. It'll get announced mid E3 of 2023. We'll get an announcement. And we'll get them in the springtime of 2024. We'll get the pros for sure. Because Sony's more focused on PSVR this year, 2023. That's going to be their big release in 2023. So the Pro will come out in 2024 for the Xbox and for the PlayStation. So we know that's coming.
I know they
hear it here first.
They
you heard it here first. Let me get one.
Well, I know that the PS5s that are coming out now are different from the ones that I got
originally.
CAG has. And they got a different chip and they got a different stuff right inside them. So
16 ounces lighter.
16 ounces lighter. They changed the heat sink in there. They changed the fan, and they also where your SSD goes, it has another piece of metal in there to cool it, to make sure that it stays cooler. So yeah, they're slowly doing it. But see, as we all know, the problem with the PlayStation, the reason people have more troubles getting the PlayStation isn't because Sony doesn't want you. It's because Microsoft paid for chip priority. They pay for chip priority in the factory, so there's more Xboxes that can be made than Sony. So, but they'll get there. They'll get there. People, I think, when you see the first price cut for the PS5 is when they'll be readily available in the stores. When you see the first price cut.
Well, right now we're just seeing price raises.
Yeah.
Other countries.
Yeah.
You know what?
People hate America already. Now, what do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I think Xbox did that because if you, I don't know if you guys, follow this, but there's one of the biggest chip semiconductor manufacturing plants is in Taiwan. Sony invested $7 billion in this chip company, and they've essentially teamed up in order to essentially, make chips exclusively for Sony consoles. We probably won't see that until next year that really go into effect, since there was so many shortages and everything like that. But it's just like, yeah, I see kind of like, Microsoft being like, oh damn, like we got to do something to make sure that like, we can get enough chips for our consoles and our hardware as we move forward. But
And it's scary because okay, so you got people on both sides, right? People love PlayStation, people love Xbox, whatever. Who cares? You love what you love. But it's this generation going into the Xbox the Series X and the Series S, to see Microsoft as a company, because we always try to think that Xbox was Microsoft, but when the 360 came out and original Xbox came out, they were just like a division in the basement, and Microsoft was like, yeah, go do your thing, but if you mess up, we're gonna get rid of you. But now to see the CEO of Microsoft and everything say, hey, here's an open checkbook, make it happen, do what you got to do, spend whatever you want. That's scary because Microsoft has unlimited funds. They have unlimited funds. They spent $70 billion on Activision Blizzard. Like it was nothing. They wrote a check and was just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yep,
so
just dropped it in there.
Yeah, that's scary for that's scary for the industry. It's scary for Sony because that $70 billion check probably could have bought Sony or been very close to buying a majority stake in their company. So it's scary for not only Sony and Nintendo, it's scary for the industry because Microsoft is shaking it up and they're just coming like it. Hey, if you don't want to get on board, we'll just buy you. And this is the first time in gaming that we've seen that. Developers would fight against other developers, companies would fight, do whatever. Now Microsoft would say, hey, if you're not on board, we'll just buy you and get you on board, which is crazy.
Yeah, well, they're doing all this buying and not enough putting it out in terms of the first party releases. So I mean, it'd be kind of scary.
It's all set up.
Well, the thing is this. You're right. They don't have many first party releases, but what I want people to think about when it comes to Microsoft is people say that, but they don't. Microsoft doesn't care because guess what? They want you to play their stuff. They own it. They want you to play their stuff no matter where you are. So that's why they bought Mojang and they bought Minecraft, which is like one of their biggest properties, right? You can play it anywhere. So they don't care if you play it on Xbox. Everybody still has this frame of mind, like the fanboy frame of mind almost, where, oh, you got to have first party titles for your console because that's the only way I'm going to buy it. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to buy it. But guess what? You're playing my games on Sony. You're playing my games on PC. You're playing my games on mobile. That's what they want. They want the Netflix frame of mind. That's why they're doing Game Pass. They don't care where you play their content as long as you play it. You could be a PlayStation person playing Minecraft or whatever they bring to PlayStation, and they're loving it because as money, they have access to 100 million PlayStations that they didn't have access to before. And that's their end game. Their end game is to be available anywhere and everywhere. And I think that's smart for business anyways.
Well, it's a crazy smart move when you look at the numbers of like what Xbox One sold compared to PS4 and then what, even the new Xbox now, compared to PS5. It's so it's all, man, they're making moves, man. So.
Yeah.
All right. And those moves aren't slowing them down by any means. They're only picking up speed.
Right. And then think about the last thing is when all of the developers that they have purchased. So it takes, for a good game, 3 years, 3 years of development before it gets to where you're going. Think about when it starts rolling. Yeah, it may not have,
it's all set up right now.
Yeah, it's all set up. When it gets rolling, it's going to be crazy. And then also, everybody fails to realize you ain't playing PC games without who?
Microsoft.
Microsoft.
You know,
Gotta
they
have the
always fail
servers.
they always fail to they always fail to realize you ain't really playing PC games without them. And then to just think that if you put a game in the Microsoft Store, Xbox can put it on PC Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? And that's scary because like just think about if you saw this would be ridiculous if you saw God of War and PC Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? And that could legitimately happen because I mean obviously Microsoft's gonna pay out the wahoo to do it, but because they'll be buying every copy of it anyways. But they have the option to do that. So I don't know, man. The next couple of years is gonna be crazy.
Speaking of crazy,
Bring it.
guys, the Assassin's Creed franchise is getting a new mobile entry in ancient China called Assassin's Creed Jade.
Yes.
You know, we really don't have any idea what there's going to be, but we do have a short trailer that that you know gives us a quick hint. And you know, maybe some of our Assassin's Creed watchers out there will pick this trailer apart and they'll let us in on the no wins. But I played a ton of Assassin's Creed. I fell off. You know, the last one I played was Odyssey, and I haven't touched Valhalla, but I do have it in my library, just sitting there waiting for me. Guys, let's see. Too Tall. Are you ready to? I know you just got done playing the Ezio collection.
Yes.
Are you jumping into one of these Assassin's Creed, but more or less Assassin's Creed Jade?
Yes, because from what I've been hearing, it's going back to the old formula it used to use, and I think it's hard for me to describe it. It seems like playing through the old Ezio collection, they just made those games simple. They weren't
Mhm.
overly complicated. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can find in them, especially Brotherhood. But I mean, for the most part, yeah, they got to go back to their old formula. Because I popped in Valhalla for maybe about like 5-10 hours. It's just overwhelmingly just a lot of stuff you can do in that game, and it's just like, does the game really need to be like 60 hours for me
Right.
to get enjoyment out of it? It's like it was
Nope.
just overwhelming. Like, yeah, I'm not playing this. Like, I mean, it's in my backlog. I might give it another chance. We'll see. I mean, I also got uh, Origins and Odyssey in my backlog as well. So I mean, I do want to give those a chance. But I mean,
Thank you.
yeah, if they go back to the old formula that they used to use, I'm all in. Definitely sign me up.
Well, let me jump in right there. So this particular one is not the one that's going back to the old formula. Ubisoft has plans, and they're really expanding their franchise.
Mm.
This one is going to be. It's tough to say at this point because all we saw was a trailer. But the one that they said that was going back to its roots is going to be Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Mirage. Okay, so I
Yeah.
got ahead. All right, so I got ahead of
Well,
myself there. But
this looks amazing off top just because they gave us a taste of China with that side scrolling Assassin's Creed. And I think that was just to like see what people's interests in Assassin's Creed in China would be. So I'm really looking forward to this. And Too Tall, I heard you say that you have Origins in your backlog. Just stop playing any of the other ones and just play Origins right now. Odyssey is amazing. Odyssey was dope, but Origins was absolutely stunning. I loved
all
that
right, I'll give
game from
Origins.
beginning to end.
All right, I'll give Origins
So
a shot.
yeah, you'll love that one, man.
Okay.
Valhalla, Valhalla to me felt like we like it felt like repetitive. Go to a settlement, raid the settlement. Go to another settlement, raid another settlement. It
Sounds like
didn't
Far Cry.
feel. Yeah, yeah. It didn't feel.
Sounded like
Um,
it was gonna be a grind, and it's just like,
yeah,
no, I'm okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Joel, do you have Assassin's Creed in your backlog over there, or have you jumped
So
into any of the most
I
recent ones?
literally have every Assassin's Creed game, and I have never played one of them. I've never
Are
played
you
an
serious?
Assassin's Creed game. Yeah.
Oh,
At least
God.
play the first one. The first one's awesome.
I would say go to
It's just
Brotherhood
like
first. But
I don't have beef with it. I don't like hate it. I don't love it. I just like I bought it. I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'm like, oh wait, I gotta play this. And I think when Assassin's Creed were coming out, when they were dropping, like every year, I was starting the channel, having to review all the garbage they sent me. You know what I mean? And so like there's a lot of times like everyone's thinking, oh, it'd be great to be a reviewer, but when you're starting, you just have to review everything that's sent, you know, and you got to play those games instead of games you want to play, if that makes sense. So like, I think during that time, I was just playing all these games that were sent to me. Now, you know, we're a little higher in numbers. Now I can go, you know what? I don't want this one. Oh, I'll take this one. I don't want this one. I'll take this one. But back when they were dropping, I just couldn't. I was just like, man, I wish I could play it, but I got to play this because I got to get a review and then you got to edit. It takes lots of time. So sadly, man, I have no input on any of these Assassin's Creed questions that you're going to be.
I would say at least play the Ezio collection, like Finals was saying, Tour Brotherhood. I mean, that'd be a good place to start. Really, if you ever do want to
get
start
your feet
playing
wet for sure.
But it's just like there's so many other games that I like that really perk my interest, you know, that I want to play, you know.
Well, once you play Assassin's Creed, you may think that it's not going to perk your interest, but as soon as you put it in, like play 1, like they said, Brotherhood was good. 4 was good too because they introduced the mechanic of like guns with ships and stuff. So, and then Liberation was good too, which I think was only on PSP. But you'll really enjoy it. I like what they're doing with it, and I also read in the article with Assassin's Creed, Unity is going to be the new launching platform for all the Assassin's Creed games. Like you launch into any Assassin's Creed game from Unity. I think I read in one of their articles there.
Yeah, it's called Infinity, and Infinity is going to be a launching platform for all Assassin's Creed games. And the first 2 that are announced for is going to be Assassin's Creed Red, which is going to be our first Assassin's Creed game that's finally set in Japan. And this has been a community ask for years and years and years, only because it just makes sense. And then the other one is going to be Assassin's Creed Hex. So Assassin's Creed Hex or Hexe, it might be pronounced because it's Hexe. Kind of looks like a voodoo almost setting for an Assassin's Creed game, but we only got a quick trailer from that one also, so it's kind of tough to say at this point. But I would say if I don't know, you know, in terms, Joel, if you're like a history buff like me, like the world is as much of a character as the game, as the characters. You know, just experiencing those like just those open world, like Italy and like everywhere like Ezio went, experiencing Origins and like seeing the pyramids and like the pharaohs, and you know, even Odyssey where you get to experience like Rome and Athens and just like seeing these places. They're absolutely, the vistas and the actual like levels themselves are just gorgeous, which is one of the reasons like they've been putting in explorer modes, which usually comes in after the fact. Don't yawn at me, Joel. It's coming.
I'm not yawning. I'm not yawning.
No, but I'm just messing with you, man. But they put in explorer modes, and you get to you essentially can go throughout the level without fighting anyone and view the landscapes. There we go. There it goes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And explore the landscapes.
No, I have no beef with it. I don't have any beef with Assassin's Creed. I am remembering we did review Black Flag, I believe,
great game
on the show, but I gave that to Joan. I just gave that copy to Joan or something to it when it came out. You know,
Black Flag was dope, man. You missed out on that one. That was a good one.
You know, I'll get around to them. Like, you know,
no, you won't.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Only way Joel will play anything that has to do with Assassin's Creed is if they bring Assassin's Creed characters to Dead by Daylight. Then we'll be playing with them all the time. I guarantee you.
What if they bring them to Mortal Kombat?
Or Mortal Kombat? Oh, that would. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it in Soul Calibur?
Fighting game. Yeah,
he was in Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
I played him in Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Ezio's also in what is it, Brawlhalla? I think we're gonna be talking about that a little later on.
He is in Brawlhalla. Yep.
Yeah, Brawlhalla. Yeah, that. He looks kind of funny too. Like,
well, he has that Brawlhalla art style.
Looks funny.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like, I couldn't imagine Ezio like that, but yeah. Too bad they didn't get him for Smash. That would have been totally awesome.
Man, it's a lot of people I wish that were in Smash. Oh my God, that's a long list, bro.
Well, we got multiverses, so pitch it
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
put up your
definitely.
petition.org and see if they can get it in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, as collectors, this I was just I wanted to pick your brains. So have you guys heard of the Last of Us Firefly editions?
Yes.
Oh, the ones
Yeah.
that
Okay.
we're all shipped
So
to hell.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So Sony's been shipping these out. You can only order these directly from Sony. But essentially they're arriving and people are paying all these money for these collectors editions, but they're in cardboard boxes and they're arriving damaged.
Oh,
And
Lord.
Sony has flat out said no refunds for any damaged goods that arrive to your property, because they're saying essentially they have shipped them in pristine condition and they're arriving how they're arriving because of because of the carrier. That being
Start blaming the
said,
carrier. That's ridiculous.
you know,
No,
Mm-mm.
you got to
Yeah,
blame.
that's
you got to
bad.
blame
That's
them
bad.
for the packaging.
That's
Yeah.
bad customer service, if you ask me. That's bullshit.
Yeah, if you look at the box that they put the game in, and they have PlayStation tissue paper. I've seen
Mhm.
pictures all over. There's literally PlayStation tissue paper in there. What is the tissue paper going to do to protect this game? And then Sony said, we'll give you the only thing they've done so far is said, we'll give you 20% off a future purchase
Right.
if you can prove it. The only reason people are buying this is because they're collectors. That's the only reason they're buying it, because they're collectors. And to get this in the manner that they're getting them in is a slap in the face. Like, come on now, like you could have did something better to protect this, man. So I'm just dumbfounded as to like what they're thinking, putting this game in a box full of tissue paper.
Yeah, it's yeah, and they're gonna blame the U.S. Postal Service or
Right.
FedEx Ground or UPS or whoever's shipping it to the customers. That's bullshit. Like, they shouldn't be doing that. And like I said, just bad customer service. It's not a good look, Sony. Come on now, you're better
Right.
than this.
No,
Yeah.
no, they're not. That's the problem. You know, if you're a Sony fan, Sony has a history of not protecting their customers, man. With anything, they'll tell you in a heartbeat, just go buy another one. They've done it with the PS2. They said it with the PS3. They did it with all their products. They're not a U.S. American company. They don't care. They will tell you, just go buy another one. If you don't like it, just go buy another one. They don't care about you being a collector. They just care about your bottom dollar. So that's just,
And as you mentioned, the policy is like basically go spend more money in our store. It's like we'll give you 20% off to go
Right.
spend more money in our store, and that's the solution.
yeah.
Like so I was just curious to pick your brains. Joel, did you have any feelings on this?
I don't. Yeah, I really don't. I feel bad for anyone who bought it. The game for the third time.
Mhm.
The third time.
Yes.
Like when they announced it, I was like, okay, sure. But I don't. That's why I don't understand gamers. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, I don't understand gamers. So like, here we are. It's being released for the third time, and everyone's buying it and they're loving it, right? And we got Turtles Cowabunga Collection being released for the third time. Okay, and everyone. Well, okay, here's the thing. No, I'm sorry. Everyone's loving the Cowabunga Collection, but no one's talking about the crap online. And everyone is hating The Last of Us because the remake wasn't as good as they wanted it to be, like the graphics or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, well, how are you happy with a third release of Turtles and they did nothing to it? They didn't add anything to it. At least Last of Us, they added stuff to it. Anyway, that I'm kind of getting off topic of what it is, but I do feel bad that people are the collectors, because Cag's right. Only a collector is going to buy this.
Yeah.
No one else is going to buy it. I mean, maybe if you really, really love the game, you're going to buy this edition. So I feel bad for them like that. But then it's just like, I just don't understand gamers though, too. Like they get mad at me. They get mad at me for making a video complaining about I didn't get what I ordered, right? I didn't get online with my turtles, and I'm the bad guy. But now they're all mad because they didn't get what they ordered. A nice looking box, a nice game, You know, like I just don't understand the gamers.
Well,
you know?
Joel, I'm going to jump in here real quickly
Yes.
because I wrote you a mile paragraph, like a mile long paragraph about turtles and specifically. So we're gonna deviate a little bit and we're gonna go ahead and talk about this. But actually, before I do, Cag, did you want to say something about this? Because I'll probably talk about for 10 minutes.
One quick thing. Okay,
Yeah.
Sony, obviously you're not listening to this podcast, but if you do, or if you have some ninjas in here listening, getting information, this is all you got to do. It only, I guarantee, only costs Sony less than 20 cents to manufacture that paper box. If someone has a damaged one and they can send you pictures, just issue them the box. That's all you got to do. The game ain't broken. The other stuff in the inside of it ain't messed up. Just issue them a box. Have it broken down to where they can get the box, just put it back together, and they got a great box. The thing is, as a company, especially Sony right now, your image is more important than the pennies you're going to give out to get this here. Make people happy. You're jacking prices. You're doing all this other stuff. Don't do that. They've spent $70 on a game that probably didn't cost you but $10 to make. It's a remaster of a remaster that came out in 2013 or whenever it came out, 2000. I don't know. So just allow people, just send them a new box. That's it. If they make the claim and theirs is busted and they care, let them fill out a form where they can just get a box and they'll get a new sleeve, and then there you go. That's it. Because it don't cost nothing to do that.
Oh,
That's true.
that would take the time and the effort in order to actually be willing to fix something. And
Yes.
that thought, that ability to think about a solution is too much effort for you. But you just gave them the solution, so hopefully they are listening.
What I've learned is that if you give people an option, they're happy with just getting an option.
Yeah.
They always don't even go through with it. They'll be like, you know what, it is what it is. I don't even feel like taking pictures and sending it to you, but you did in good faith say that you would help me if you could. You know what I'm saying? So there you go, man. Just do it and keep it moving.
All right. So this is kind of in line with our next topic right here. So this is going to be a 2-for-1, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles plans for a 2023 AAA release. And Joel, okay, so you said you don't understand gamers. What do you mean, Matt? You are a gamer. So,
I am, but I think sometimes, like, and I'm not talking about everyone. I mean, there's some level-headed gamers that get it, but especially when I dropped that Turtles video, the online, the people were like, if you're wanting to play online, you missed the point of the release. I'm like, why? I'm all like, you guys advertise this thing as having online. I already own the games. You know what I mean? And I have them on different systems, and I don't need it. I can play couch co-op with my friends here. You got online? Cool. And it's like, and everyone, there were a lot of people that were just like on Twitter and stuff. A lot of people agreed with me, but a lot of people were all like, oh, your butt hurt, quit crying, first world problems and all this and that. I'm like, well, you guys you're missing the point. Like, gamers are missing the point. Like, if I went to McDonald's and I ordered a Big Mac, because that's what's pictured up there, and those bastards gave me a hamburger, I'd be like, what's up? I want something. Anything else in life, had they gone to Home Depot and they bought a shower head that had 7 different pressure settings, and they got home and it was just one, they would take it back. Everything in life, you would take it back. But gamers, for some reason, this doesn't work. It's fine. It's okay. I don't play online anyway. If I had $1 for every I don't play online anyway comments I got,
you're a rich man.
You're like, am I really missing the point, or are gamers missing the point? They're settling, dude. They're like getting these broken games, and they're just like, oh well, maybe they'll fix it. Maybe they won't, because sometimes they don't. And this is why I don't understand gamers sometimes.
Yeah.
Gamers.
In terms of your analogy, I'm jumping real quickly.
Right.
In terms of your analogy, so I would say you're getting your quarter pounder or your burger. Your pickles are just maybe burnt or something to that degree. And with the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, because you are getting online, it does not work well.
Right.
It does not work well.
And,
It does not work well.
And I think with your video, and this is just an outside perspective, the the thumbnail said crap, and that caught my attention.
It was
And
clickbait, man. It was clickbait. It's not a crap
And-
collection if you just take it for what it is. It doesn't say anything on here.
Well, here's the thing.
TMNT Cowabunga collection online.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I gotta do that is because there's all these huge YouTubers who are reviewing it, and they're gonna get millions of views, and they're not even talking about that. If I have a thing that has a Cowabunga collection that says crap, everyone's gonna click on it because they want to know, why do you think it's crap? And then I tell them the truth, why I think it is crap. That it's not a lie. I honestly think that release is a crappy release because of that fact, because of the way they promoted it. And I said in the video, as a collection, cool, good, awesome. We got all these Turtles games. Yeah. But you promised and you didn't deliver. That's the issue.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's 2 points that I want to bring up here. One is the fact of developers releasing games that aren't fully finished. And I think we've, as a gaming society, we've gotten accustomed to it. We've been playing broken games for probably like 2-3 generations now, and it's become okay for us. Everything can release in a beta format or an alpha format, and we're okay playing with a broken game, knowing it's going to be fixed later in a via update months after the game's release.
I think oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
One recent release would be New Saints Row.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
so
please, jump in.
When it comes to these games, man, Joel hit it on the head when it comes to people not talking about what is broken in a game. So when you do a review, you give the good, the bad, the ugly, right? You have to. I mean, that's a good reviewer. Any good reviewer is going to do that. But I think one of the biggest issues with the reviewers are they're afraid to say something because now they may be blacklisted from getting those games. They may be blacklisted from getting a free DLC. And on YouTube, the way you become a hit is by reviewing something first before anybody gets to it. So if you lose access to that algorithm kicks you down, because if you ain't first, man, you ain't popping.
You're last. Yeah.
Exactly. And then also to go back to what you're saying about broken games, when it comes to consumers and anything, the majority of consumers, what we used to call it when I was growing up was trying to live up to the Joneses, right? But it's FOMO. It's the fear of missing out. They buy things because a reviewer reviews it and says, oh, this game is awesome, whatever. And they buy it even if it's broken because they feel like they're missing something if they don't buy it. And I was caught up in that. Joel will tell you, I was caught up and I was just buying and buying and buying. And then I looked at it and I said, okay, I bought this game and I haven't played it yet. Now it's 2 years later and the game is infinitely better than it was the day I bought it, and I still haven't played it. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I was missing out on buying something.
Right.
So,
you want to be part of the conversation, and yes. So many people do. And I think, the main part of Joel's video that I really agreed with was that nobody talked about it. Like right. I went through 23 reviews.
Wow.
23 reviews, and Joel and IGN were the only people that mentioned
IGN,
online.
They said it was a little rough.
Good for IGN. That's awesome.
Yeah. So kudos, like I said, like in the comment that I left you said kudos to both of you guys because it should have been mentioned. And I think, like I said, when we talked about it, in just in an exchange of comments, was like, I think this says more about the people reviewing the games and how they proceed and move forward. And CAG, I thank you for bringing up those points. I never even thought about being blacklisted in terms of like reviews and things of that nature. Because
with Lego and Warner Brothers, that's why Warner Brothers don't send me nothing.
Yeah, I've never even thought about that, but I was like, oh, like no one mentioned it, and that could explain why. So it's sad because people picked up the game because of the reviews, and if you were looking forward to online, you're really missing out on that aspect, since it's it is crap.
Broken.
It's broken.
And it's
regardless of what console you play it on.
It's no excuse. It is literally literally no excuse because on Media Glitch streams we play Turtles through
RetroArch.
RetroArch,
Retro
and it
Arch,
works
yeah.
fine. It works fine.
Yeah.
So there's literally no excuse for Konami not to be able to have netcode that works. You're the designer of this game. You're a billion-dollar corporation, and how can a free software play your games better than you can? So in my eyes, there's no excuse.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that, I mean, maybe they need to reach out to the retro team, see if they could do something.
Yes.
Or, I mean, Dot Emu, with Shredder's Revenge, I mean, online there works like perfectly. Even if you're playing on the Switch, it's like great. Like,
Yeah, if you're running 4-player on the Switch, you're doing something right.
Yes.
Yeah, if they can get it right on the Switch, I mean, how could Konami not get a collection of old games? And not even all of them at that. They only gave us 4 of them. I hear like the only one that works good is the Hyperstone Heist, and that's
It's also weird that like Hyperstone Heist on Super Nintendo gets online, but Hyperstone on Sega doesn't. And like, why these weird decisions that they made? What gets online and what doesn't? And that's kind of weird too. And people don't care. They're just like and I just want my whole intention was a video. There were 2 intentions. One is hopefully it would pick up some steam and Konami would fix it, because if no one talks about it, they're not going to fix it. They don't care.
Right.
They're like Sony, right? I've had Konami attack my videos because I use music. I had like underline music. That's fine. It's theirs. They had every right to do that, but like they don't care. The other thing was that I would just want gamers to start valuing the worth of their own dollar, the worth of their time, what they spent to make money, and what they're doing. Because I feel like we're losing that. We're like, an complete game, fine, okay. How much do you want? It's Turtles. It's got to be amazing. Oh, the online work? Well, that's okay. Like that, people just aren't using their brains. Like it's like everything's a DLC, an update, and it's gonna spread into our culture, man. Like
it already has.
Even COVID shots have updates now. It's like, what the heck, dude?
We'll fix it on the back end.
New update on COVID? Yeah. Like why? Why do we settle for this crap? Just take the time, make the game right.
And that's not okay. Yeah. Us as gamers, I don't think we should be settling for any of this crap. I mean, that's one reason why I haven't gotten Saints Row. I heard it was broken. I'm not gonna trip out $60 on a broken game. I'll just wait to get it on Black Friday or something, hopefully for like $30 or something, because I know the price will go down later on. So, I mean, I definitely see what you're saying, with the online, and I understand that it's not okay, and especially in this day and age, any of those co-op games, first of all, should have all been online. I don't think that we should have just been limited to 4. And just at the end of the day, it's like how can you not get it right? How can you not get it right? Like in terms like RetroArch can do it better,
like I was hoping for online NES game.
Yeah, at least with the Manhattan Project or even the arcade game. I like the arcade game. That was one of my favorites growing up.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean,
all that said, are you guys excited for a AAA Ninja Turtles game?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next year.
I mean,
because if it's AAA, maybe they'll do it right.
I am if they give us something, a big like story driven like Ninja Turtles game where they can kind of go back maybe into, I mean, if you're a Turtles fan, how the Turtles happened and Shredder and all that stuff, but if they can go back and kind of tell the story of Shredder and Master Splinter, Sensei the Human, and like all that stuff, and kind of like make a great game, I'm down with it for sure.
I am, but I guess I'm a little worried because Nickelodeon owns Turtles now, right? So it'd be a Nickelodeon release, and not all their releases are that great.
You didn't like Nickelodeon
Manhattan
Brawl?
was okay.
You didn't like the Nickelodeon Brawl Stars or Brawl All Stars or whatever?
No, I mean it's okay. It's okay.
It's not great.
Like I played it with my kids and we had fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not like, I don't know. I mean, it's not to the level of Smash Bros, right?
Not at all. Not even multiverses.
But I don't know if that's considered a AAA title either, right?
Right. That's very true.
I don't think so. But I mean, they say it's going to be AAA with Nickelodeon. I mean, yeah, Shredder's Revenge, it was indie, dot
Yeah, that's
emu, but I
considered
mean,
indie. Yep.
yeah, so I mean,
Honestly,
Well, we'll see what
we'll
happens.
see. We'll have to see. I
if
mean, I'd have to see more.
if they gave me like if they okay, honestly, I mean they're probably not gonna fly with this, but if they just gave me like a last Ronin Ninja Turtles game,
All
you
based off
know,
the IDW comic.
yeah,
Oh,
there you
Yep.
go.
Yep.
And
you'd be
and you
straight.
get gritty. You can get gritty with that. The graphics would be awesome. Just
Hmm.
something like that. It doesn't always have to be like cartoony, all four turtles at one time. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to be that because everybody has their favorite turtles. You
You gotta have
know,
multiplayer though, man. Like that
oh
one that
yeah, you can
that
have the
one that
multiplayer.
that last turtles that they made. That who was it? The same people did Transformers, and that the Transformers Devastation was great. And then they came out with the Turtles one, and it wasn't a bad game, but it didn't have multiplayer, and everyone bashed it.
Hmm.
You got to at least have multiplayer.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
Well, this actually might answer, maybe one of the reasons why Konami dropped the online. Not that I'm giving you excuses, but in terms of our next story, Matt Booty, Xbox Studios boss, speaks to the climate of gaming during his PAX West 2022 announcement. And in this, he very much spoke about just how video games aren't essentially developed by one studio anymore. Just that there's
Correct.
so many hands in the pot. QA testing has just tremendous challenges when really developing through multiple studios and really having everything coming together. He also talked about just how making games is evolving, and the idea of a single team just really can't be done when working on these single player games, which is one reason why Perfect Dark is taking so much time to develop. And even Splatoon was talked about earlier today in another article, how Nintendo had multiple studios working on that game. My friends, so I'll start with CAG. I mean, in regards to video game development evolving, and as we see the industry move forward, how do you feel we can ensure that we're getting a quality product from developers if they are having multiple studios develop one game?
So one thing I've been a champion for a long time, and I've been crying about it for a long time, is bringing back demos. They're scared of demos. Developers, studios, oh, a demo is like a nightmare scenario for them, and they just don't want it because what happens is if you don't like it, guess what? I didn't play some of it. I can decide before the game comes out that I don't have to buy it anymore. So do that, and then also lean on the whole beta thing because if you look on the PlayStation Store, you look on the Xbox Store, there's a lot of games that have had long beta cycles and allowed people to test the game, fans of those games, play those games for a long period of time for free until they were ready for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Use your community as a game developer, use the community. You don't always have to pay for people to sit down and test your games. Your community can test your games. They do it with like Call of Duty and stuff like that. They do it with all these type of games where they do, these betas and stuff like that. Just, go that way. Bring back demos, lean heavily more on the betas and get your community involved because your community is who's buying the game. And your community will give you real feedback on what's
Hmm.
wrong with the game and stuff like that. When you're a developer, your feedback is designed around you making the game, you making it what you think it should be, but you also have to get the input of people who are going to buy the game because that's who matters at the end of the day. They're are they going to spend $60 or $70? That's what you want. You want that. So no matter how great you think your idea is, if the community does not feel like they want to spend $60 on that game, they're not going to spend it. So you need more of their input than anything.
Well, PlayStation just brought back demos, but you have to pay.
Yes.
You have to pay to play those demos in PlayStation Plus Essential.
The Nintendo
Right.
Switch,
Or
Which is
they have
horrible,
demos.
right?
The Switch, they have demos. You know, Live Alive. That was like the last demo I played, and that was
Mhm.
actually a pretty good demo. I mean, I think probably sometime later on down the line
Bless
I'll
you.
buy the game.
Bless you.
Bless you. But I mean, if you have a Switch, they do have demos for their games. Kirby is
Some of
another
them.
game I can. Yeah, some of them, not
Some of
all,
them.
but yeah, Kirby. I know there's a demo for that one.
And
So,
but see, you know what the thing is, like with Nintendo games, Nintendo would never ever have to make a demo of their first party games. You know
Yeah.
that. I know that.
they
Dude,
did for
like
Kirby.
what's no, they did them, but like if you put a demo out of like Legend of Zelda, I don't care about that demo. I'm buying it anyways. It was, you know. So what I'm talking about is games that are unfounded, untested, new games that we don't know anything about. You know what I'm saying? Before our buy-in, we need to try those out. Because back when PS3 and back on 360, remember demos was everywhere for every game. Every game, you know, you had a demo to test it out, and it wasn't even like the full game release. It was just literally a level from the game somewhere in the story to let you play and, you know, get your teeth, you know, get your mouth wet about the game. So I think they should really focus on that too.
I played that Metal Gear Solid demo
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
one day. I was like, what is this? I bought a magazine and I played that demo, and I just got up off the couch when it ended, went right to the store, and I bought that bad boy because I was like, this is
There
it.
you go.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Excuse me.
So once again, I already want to say thank you for coming and just being here. But guys, I just want our audience, and I personally want to get to know you guys a little bit more. So the main topic of this week is just getting to know you guys and finding out a little bit more about what you do and your channel, and yeah, you know, just all about it. So in regards to media glitch, what is media glitch and where did it come from? And I'll start right there. Where did media glitch come from?
That's a crazy story. So Media Glitch was actually, it's an evolved channel. It keeps evolving because I keep wanting to quit and then people won't let me. But I remember. So basically, I'm a film director, right? In my job, my day job. I'm two things. I'm a film director and I'm a pastor. A lot of people don't know that. But I'm giving you guys the inside scoop, right? So,
Appreciate it.
I lived in Mexico for years and years. I did film and I did missions work. And then when I came to America after 10 years of being in Mexico, I got really depressed and I fell into this like depression, and I was in this funk. And this guy I worked with, he said, you know what you need? You need Netflix. And I said, what's that? And he told me, he's like, man, it's awesome. You just boot it up on your PlayStation and Netflix, and you can watch any movie you want. I'm like, kind of witchcraft you talking about, boy? I didn't understand. I just didn't get it. Like we didn't when I left Mexico, I was still renting from Blockbuster DVDs, right? Like there were Blockbusters still there. And so I went home and I fired up Netflix and all these movies came up, and I was like, I love America. This is awesome, right? So I just started watching everything. And I would start telling everyone at work, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And I'm like, man, you should do reviews on YouTube. I'm like, YouTube. So I'm like, we started a show called IQ Review, which is the instant queue that you used to load up. And we started there, and you know, our moms watched, and that's about it. You know how it is trying to start a new YouTube channel. It sucks, man. It's hard. And the guy who was doing it with me is like, you know what? I'm done. I'm out. Like, you know, no one's watching this thing. You know, and I'm like, all right, man. Well, good luck. Me and Joan, who's my co-host, we're gonna keep going. And then the next day, I got a call from Comcast. Cable company saying, hey, we see your show on YouTube. Would you like to put it on TV? Oh, wow. And we're like, what? And then they're like, we'll give you a studio, come down and everything. So we go down there, they offer us this studio, and then that was born, like IQ Review in the studio. And we started doing movie reviews. And then I started doing things like, I was like, oh man, I love to talk about video games. I'm a real big gamer. And I started talking about that. And those were like, because I don't know how they can see the ratings on TV and stuff, but those episodes were like, people were watching them and they were loving them. So they came back to me and said, hey, could you do only video games? And at that point, we had run through a couple of people. We were doing video games, movies, and comics. And the comics were doing awful. No one wanted that stuff. But the movies reviews were doing okay. And then, but the video game reviews and the video game stuff was blowing up. And one of my co-hosts, Ashley, she was said, hey, I got a new job. I'm gonna be filming a lot. I gotta go. So I can't do the show no more. And then my other guy, Dominic, who did our comic reviews, he's like, hey man, I'm having another kid. I don't think I can do this. And so like it all, and then you had Comcast going, hey, can you just do video games? So it had like this, it was perfect timing because they were going to leave the show anyway. It was just going to be me. So I started to do movie or just video game reviews. And then I got Wargamer Girl, a bunch of other gamers started to come towards that. We got a new studio and we were getting about 88,000 viewers a week. Every week watching. Our TV show was huge. Like I never got recognized outside from my YouTube channel. It was always the TV channel. I never got reviews from Ubisoft and codes and all that because of YouTube. It was because of the TV channel. It was never YouTube, right? And it was always that. And then and we started growing. We got a little growth on YouTube, and then COVID hit, and the studio, everything shut down. And then we became. Well, then it was weird because I was just like, okay, I have no studio. Where am I going to film this thing? And then the stream team was born because me and Radical Reggie, we were always playing on weekends. We were playing games. We're like, might as well stream because people are at home with COVID. So me and Radical Reggie start streaming. And then John comes on board and he becomes part of the stream team. Then CAG comes on board and he becomes part of the stream team. And then X comes on board, right? And so like the stream team, so there's a studio team because we're going back on TV later this year, or finally after, 2 years or whatever, we'll finally be back on TV. But then, so I have two teams, a stream team, and they all have their own channels. Like Cag's got his own channel. John has his own channel. Radical Reggie, of course, has his own channel. So it just keeps evolving. I don't know what's going to happen next. You know what I mean? But that's just it. It's just like this evolving thing. And many times I've said, I'm done. And Reggie's like, no, you're not. And, or my stage manager, who's been keeping the dream of going back to TV alive. His name is Tommy. He's been out there putting in the work. And now we got a new studio. And he was just waiting for my COVID health to come back, because I got hit so hard with COVID and was hospitalized and almost taken out. So now that I'm getting better, we'll be returning back into TV and to the studio.
Wow.
What a
Damn. I don't even know if we should follow that up. That is intense. Thank you.
I don't know, Cag, if you want to add something to that.
I mean, it's not much I can really add to the whole media glitch realm other than, Joel was very gracious to allow me to become a part of that team. Like he said, I have my own channel. It's called King Ericon Gaming. And I love being a part of this media glitch. These guys are awesome. And playing like with them through COVID was just a lifesaver, man. Like COVID did a number on everybody, right? And everybody was kind of like trying to figure out what was the next step. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we do next? Is this going to get worse? Is this going to keep going? Like, whatever. And then to start playing with Joel, Reggie, John, X, took your mind off of it, right? You stop thinking about it, and then, we finally made out of it. So Media Glitch is awesome.
Because you found us through COVID, right?
Through COVID, yep. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that so much. And Too tall. Did you wanna ask any questions? I know these guys have to go soon, but I want to let you have a chance.
Just out of curiosity, how'd you hook up with the team over at the Game On Expo in Phoenix, Arizona? That's one thing I would want to know.
That's an interesting story. Do you guys know who Happy Council Gamer is?
I do not.
You don't know who Johnny Millennium? Happy Council Gamer. That's crazy.
Maybe if I seen him, I'd probably know the face.
So he's got a pretty big channel, big following, way bigger than ours. You know what I mean? And so we're friends, but we had never met, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on a stream. When I first started streaming with Media Glitch, and there were like, 2 people watching on a good day, and you're like, oh man, this is awesome. He comes in, he's like, hey man, I got invited as special guest. Him and Alpha Omega Sin were going to be special guests at Game On Expo, and they were just starting. So Game On Expo had 1 year prior, and this is the second year. And so he was bringing in Johnny Millennium from Happy Council Gamer, Metal Jesus was there, some other YouTubers, and he goes, you should go. And I said, dude, I've never been to a gaming convention. I hadn't at that point, never gone to a gaming convention. And he's like, you got to go. I want to meet you. And I was like, okay, we should meet up, because we had never met up. And I said, all right, fine, I'll go. So I go, and I started doing videos. I did videos and stuff. And I don't even remember because I had known John Lester, Gamester 81. I had known him from the YouTube world. And I think one of their moderators maybe didn't show up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, bro, could you moderate this panel? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I jump in there, and then, they were like, man, you're an awesome moderator, And I'm like, yeah, I know my stuff, I guess. I don't know, And I didn't really think much of it. And then the next year, he brought in all the Mortal Kombat guys. And he's like, hey, would you like to moderate this panel? I'm like, psh, what the flip? Are you kidding me? Like, this is like my dream, So that year I did more panels. And then the next year, I feel like I did all the panels, like every one I could, and it's just kind of grown and grown. And so, he invites me out, they take care of me. I like to travel with my family too, and they're gracious to do that as well. And so that's how it is, just kind of grown. This year I only did, 6 or 7 panels because I wanted to take it easy because of, I'm still in recovery. But that convention I've watched grow, and I've watched it grow, and it's continuing to grow. Next year it's going to be huge. It's going to be way bigger than it was even this year. It's going to be huge. So one to keep your eye on for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
It's definitely picking up steam in the southwest part of the United States. Anyone that lives out there, definitely check it out. Game On, I was there, Finance was there, we all were there, and it's only getting bigger. I love it a lot. I'll be there next year for sure.
Yep, and now we do a panel, which is cool. That's how we met you guys. Like, Media Glitch has its own panel, and that wasn't how the case. And what I love is that, people like John, people like Kag, I know how awesome it is to do panels. And I can be like, hey, come on, man, we're going to do a panel. That was Kag's first panel.
Yep.
And then the year before that, or the last time Game On was going, it was John's first panel that he had ever been on. So that's kind of cool, to have these experiences with these guys and meet up. I thought that was the first time I met Kag in person.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, you wouldn't have known it.
I think.
Yeah.
That panel was amazing, though.
Yeah, it really was, and we really loved being there, and we're even happier that we've been able to connect with you guys. I have 2 more questions. You guys have 2?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. So, Joel, from everything that you've spoken about so far, about how you've kept the channel going and everything, there's one thing that I've really pulled from that, and just really being a small channel at this point, we have barely started doing video just this last year. We did audio for about a year before, or for about a year, but 2 years before that, pre-COVID. And the thing I've really taken away from you so far is that we should give up. I'm joking. Sorry.
No, I'm glad you got the message.
There we go.
Walk away now. Cut your losses, bro.
Yep. otherwise, several years later, we're going to be just keeping getting sucked in. No, what I really wanted to ask is, and this may be kind of a loaded question, and you may not even have an answer for it. But why do you game? Like, why do you continuously, buy games? It may be for work or whatever the reason may be. But I'm curious, why do you personally game?
That is a loaded question. I game because, man, there's a lot of answers to that. I game to spend time with my brother. I game to spend time with my friends like Cag. I game to help me with my anxiety issues. I game to escape. Like being a film director. Sometimes I'm around a lot of people. Sometimes I have to put on this and I'm energetic thing, and I am that guy, that way. But I'm also like an introvert where then I got to go and I got to decompress, and I got to let all that out. And so gaming does that for me,
Yep.
And then it's just it's been a part of my life for so long. It's like not wearing underwear. It feels weird if you
I
don't have
don't
it
know
on.
that analogy at all. No, I live in Phoenix, Arizona, so that's.
So you're free balling every day. You don't.
You do not want to see below right here. It's hot as hell. This is the hot box right here. No,
No, but where something something you've done your whole life, when you don't have it no more, it feels out of place. So I have that with me, and I was being bullied as a kid, like a lot when I was younger. I didn't have very many friends, but what I had was my Nintendo. My Nintendo was always there. My Sega Genesis was always there for me. Whether it was good times, bad times, whether the mom was drunk and on drugs, whether the dad was gone, when I didn't have anybody, not just friends, but even family, I still had my Nintendo. And my games have always been there when people haven't. And that is probably one of the main reasons why I game.
I love it. Thank you, Cag.
Cag,
I'm gonna come to you next. Man, why do you game?
Man, listen, my gaming started out with my youngest brother, and I always go back to when we got our first NES action set. My mom was a single mom at the time, and she went to, I don't know how old you guys are, but there's a place called Children's Palace, right? Children's Palace, and she brought that action pack out and she showed it to us, and me and my youngest brother played Rampage, which I still have the original game and box from that game. We played it all through the night, man, and so it was that bridge of us, being to come together as siblings to be able to play something, and then it grew from there. All of my friends were playing, and it got us together. We would go over somebody's house, 4 controllers in front of the TV, playing the game, right? So, bringing me closer to friends and family was gaming, tied us together. And then on top of that, I also play games because it allows me to experience things that I probably would never ever experience in life. I play Forza. I love Forza. I drive Lamborghinis and all this stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to be driving that around or whatever. Coming up when I was in high school and college, I played football, but I'm never going to be in the NFL, so I play Madden, right? You know what I'm saying? I love Madden. I'm never going to be able to do that.
That's
and
good.
these
That's
games, they give you experiences that you're never going to be able to experience. So it's like a gateway into something that you're never going to be able to do.
I've never ran over a hooker, but GTA. Hey man,
there you go.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I never robbed a bank, but
Right.
I'm kidding, Cat. Go ahead.
No,
I've
you're
done all
good.
that.
You get to do
So
all
I'm gonna
this
run
stuff.
now. Yeah.
You get to do all of these things that you would never be able to do. It's like Joel loves movies, right? And I grew up watching movies. I love movies myself. So a video game is like an interactive movie that you can kind of write your own story. And so I don't think it'll ever stop. I've been playing them since I was, I say, like 5 or 6 years old is when I really started playing games, and I'll never stop, man. It's just amazing experience.
I have stopped. I stopped once for 6 years. Because I used to be a drug addict and stuff, and then I just had to get my life right. Had to, gave my life to God, and I had to focus, And I put the controller down for 6 years, man. But once I had everything straightened out, my priorities straight, I went back and I was like, yeah, this feels good. This is
Yeah.
It was God of War, man, on the PlayStation 2 when I came back.
Oh, yes.
Oh, right on.
That's
Yeah,
how
way
you
to
come
come
back and you're like, holy cow, gaming has freaking evolved. You know?
Yes.
I love that. Oh, I don't know if you guys have dug into that on your show, but I really do appreciate both of you diving into that on ours, because that's personal. That there's
Yeah.
nothing more personal than that. Too tall. I know, we're letting them take it away real quick, but do you want to give a real quick answer on why you game, sir?
Why game? Just at the end of the day, it's just fun and finance. I don't know if you guys know, but me and finance, we're old friends, and yeah, just I was kind of just brought into just the realm of gaming, just started playing it, and then just got the Nintendo, then the Super Nintendo, and why I still game after all these years. At the end of the day, it's just fun, Sometimes it's just fun to just come home from work or whatever you're doing, just grab a controller, drink some water, drink a beer, whatever, and just enjoy just what you're playing, and what, regardless of if it's something new or just something old. I just game because at the end of the day, it's fun. It's something I enjoy doing. Spend time with my guy Finance, or just any of my other gaming friends. Something great to talk about. I mean, that's why I game. Just love the community. So I mean, hopefully that is a good answer for you guys. But
Hey, it's a good answer for
Absolutely.
you. That's all that matters, man.
yeah.
Sure.
You don't have to worry about anyone else.
Mm.
All right, my friends. Let's see. So we are going to do the release rundown, and we're also going to do a chat room where we read, different comments in the chat. Just to want to make sure that you guys are still good. Or
One guy has
Dude.
so many questions, he says.
Yeah. I think you're gonna be. Yeah, I think there are a few guys in here with some questions. All right, so yeah, let's do the
But you
release rundown.
guys do your thing. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and do the release rundown. Let's see, Justin. Actually,
You want me to do it?
yeah. Can you go ahead and handle this for me today?
All right, for sure. Yeah, I could do that. All right, so the release rundown coming this week. September 13th, we have 3 games coming. Little Orpheus. Looks like it's coming to all consoles and PC on the 13th. Also on the 13th, we got a Scourge Bringer. Looks like that's a mobile game coming to iOS and Android. And then we have 13 coming to Switch.
Of course.
So, yeah, they had to remake this game again. Well, the last one. Well,
I doubt it's a remake, right?
or remaster or whatever.
Switch is just like, hey, anything that's 10 years or older, give it to us.
Yes.
I don't think the Switch asked for some of these games, like, but well, I mean, we'll see if anyone picks it up.
Nothing wrong with the game. I'm just like,
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Same thing with the Knights of the Old Republic 2 or whatever. Let's see. Next up on September 14th is You Suck at Parking, coming to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. And then September 15th, you have quite a bit of games coming out that day. Bear and Breakfast, which I believe is already out. That's coming to the Switch. Metal
I
Hellsinger.
can tell by the covers what comes out for Switch. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all.
You don't even have to tell me. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, Metal Hellsinger coming to the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Let's see. Outer Wilds coming to the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and then Splitgate coming to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, and PC. And Wayward Strand coming to the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. I guess all game consoles and PC. And then September 17th, we have Return to Monkey Island for Switch and PC, which I'm a little curious about that one. Any of these games you got? Anyone would recommend? Anyone out there that's looking to pick up some new games next week, or new games for their
Yeah, I would
console?
say if you are a fan of multiplayer shooters, you need to jump into Splitgate. That mixes Portal, if you've ever played Valve's Portal, along with Halo, and it's going to give you split screen and multiplayer co-op, which something that Halo is not going to give you. So that is a game that I would recommend for anyone out there to play. It's wonderful. They just announced that they're going to stop with that game so they can concentrate on Splitgate 3. So they're going to stop making content for that game so they can concentrate on Splitgate 3. But I would recommend that one. Outer Wilds is also a banger, so I would recommend that one also. Joel, Cag, you guys, any of these games speak to you?
I'll let Cag take this. I don't really have anything.
I mean, not too much. I mean, Splitgate, I'm kind of interested in, but that would be like the only thing out of the list that I would be looking for. I don't have a Switch anymore, so if it's Switch only, it ain't for me. So
So no Return to Monkey Island for you, I guess.
no,
No
That's not
13?
Steve,
Monkey
too,
Island.
but
No,
that's already been out, right?
no bear and breakfast.
Yeah.
No bear breakfast.
All of those have already come out. All those games that they announced on Switch, all of them
Yeah.
are already out. So, let's see. So, for our last section, guys, as we wrap up this episode, because we're about to hit 2 hours, we have chat room. Chat room is just where we pick out a comment out of the chat and just bring it to light. If there's any in there that you like, just let me know, and we'll go ahead and display that.
I just want to address, I don't know, was it Snarlax?
Yes, Snorlax.
Because he said, I have so many questions, all from preconceived notions due to being raised in the Bible Belt and around strict religious people about being outcasted from playing video games by them. I would say here's in your thing, and this is the issue here, is being raised in the Bible Belt around strict religious people. I hate religion. I hate religious people. It's all about a relationship and your relationship with God. And when people start putting, are there rules and stuff? Yes, there is, but it's like, no one's perfect. And if you try to be perfect and you try and you judge people and you don't love people, Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. It's not hard. Like, you can love everyone, and so like, religion is a problem. That's a problem. It's not about religion. It's a relationship. So that's short answer right there. I could get way into it, but anyway.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And Snarlax said he'll reach out to you later also.
Yeah, I saw that.
Let's see. And then Justin, was there anything that any of these comments that you wanted to highlight today?
Gotta go with my homegirl Slanko Bomb. She's saying, I think this was back to the Gargoyles. Once again, sorry finance, but she says $9.99 at the most is what you would pay for that game. And man, I can't. Yeah, I mean, they have to be adding something more for me to pay more than $20 for it in my eyes. I mean,
you ain't even getting 9 out of me. You better flip that number around. Give me 666.
But I am a little curious. I do want to. Maybe I'll try it out on one of our Game and Watch podcast streams. So just boot up the emulator and do it.
If it is only 35 minutes, that's not. Might as well, right?
It shouldn't be that long. I mean, we'll give it a try. We'll see what it's like.
Well, that's if you're good at the game. You got to get good at the game. You can
Okay.
through it, but like,
What they could do, what Disney could legitimately do, and this will help their bottom line, right? If you subscribe to Disney Plus, will give you a free code on whatever platform you want to play the game. You buy, you say, Disney Plus for a month or 2 months, and we'll give you a free code. I mean, that'd be awesome because now you got the game, and now you can watch the new show that they're putting forward. So do something like that, Disney. Because to get somebody to buy Gargoyles and they don't know nothing about Gargoyles, yeah, you reaching, bro.
I guarantee you, there's so like gamers today don't know what Gargoyles is.
Yeah, and that's
like the younger generation. I'm saying even 10 years younger than me and below.
Yeah. Yep. I can barely say that.
Cag, was there any of these comments that you wanted to highlight today?
The the same young lady that Tutal was talking about. I don't know how to say her name. How do you say that again?
Slanko, I think it's Slanko Bomb. She has a YouTube
Slacko
channel.
Bomb.
She streams quite a bit. She's pretty
Yeah.
entertaining.
So I like that she put in there DuckTales. DuckTales Remastered was great. I'm a huge DuckTale fans. I'm a huge Darkwing Duck fan. Like, yo,
Darkwing
you are in my alley right there, man. When you
I know.
talk
Bring
about
back
stuff like that.
Darkwing Duck.
Oh man, dude,
Oh,
I
that'd be
was
awesome.
I was Darkwing Duck when I was in middle school and stuff because my first and last name initial was DW. So you know what I'm
Oh,
saying. I used to
yeah.
love that. So
Nice.
like, I would be watching that every morning, man. Amongst other things, man. So Darkwing Duck would be amazing. I would
You know
buy
what?
it in the heart.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of Darkwing Duck because, and even in gosh, it's slipping DuckTales.
Mhm.
I was not a fan of those shows, main characters like Scrooge McDuck or Quentin, I believe his name was in Darkwing Duck, because Launchpad McQuack never got the respect that he deserved. Man, Launchpad McQuack. I'm sorry, I don't mean to take this on a too much of a tangent, but Launchpad McQuack, he was so disrespected. Man,
Yep.
just always pissed me
He
off.
was.
Well, I mean, I'd get
he
mad
was.
too if you kept crashing my plane all the time, man. What the hell?
He saved him a lot of time too, crashing.
He was, but the cool thing about him is he never complained about it. You
Yeah, he
know,
never did
some
complain.
of the coolest superheroes that may have not been acknowledged as superheroes are the ones in the background. And he knew that they couldn't do a lot without him. So yeah, I had to say nothing because y'all still gonna call me. You still need me.
Right. Yeah, I'd love to see Darkwing Duck make the return, or I mean, they just brought back Chip and Dale's. Why wouldn't you remaster
Yes.
Chip and Dale 1 and 2 on the NES? Like,
Yes.
why?
That would be
You do that?
nice. That would be
Yep.
Especially
like,
the success they had with the.
come on, Capcom, and bring the Disney Afternoon Collection to the Switch.
Yeah, and, you know, Disney had some hits on them. I was a huge fan, and still to this day, my kids are because I have the whole collection. I really enjoyed Disney Infinity, man. That was like the Toys of Life whole thing with all the characters. Disney Infinity was awesome. So I was get back into that, man.
Wait till I get my game room tour video. I've already shot it, but the amount of Disney Infinity toys I got, it's
Dude,
freaking.
I have every single one of them. When I was doing cell phones, Target put them on clearance, and they all went down to 49 cents. So any character I didn't have, I was like at every single Target buying every single Disney Infinity character. And I just thought it was cool to play a game where you could put these characters in the game and they will allow you to get to parts of the game you couldn't get without them.
Right.
Certain people open up certain doors, and I just thought it was really, really inventive. And hopefully Disney is getting back to that. What was it? Avalanche was the company, or Disney Studio was Avalanche Studios, or whatever. And they closed them down.
And the
So
last one
hopefully
they
they'll get
brought
back
in
to it.
freaking Ninja Theory, I think.
Yeah.
On the last one, Ninja Theory came in, and they did that Star Wars stuff and all that.
Yep.
And it was really
those were
good.
hot.
And I was like, man, this is awesome. And then they cut it, man. Killed it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because they were refocusing all that money to go and buy Marvel because they knew they was about to buy Marvel. they said, hold up, stop. We about to get Marvel. We about to get Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Stop the line. Stop spending money. We about to pony up and buy everything.
All right.
All right. And
what comment you got, Finest?
I got this one right here from Omega Sonic, man. He just says, I hope Sega brings back Jet Set Radio Future.
Jet Set Radio.
Yeah.
Other
than that, my friends, we're going to go ahead and put a cap on this episode. Once again,
2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Thank you so much for being here. Cannot thank you enough for this collaboration, for bringing and letting your viewers know to come join us on the Game Watch podcast. I appreciate you guys so much and continuously learn from everything. Everything I watch from you guys and the way I hear you guys speak. And we're going to keep this channel going and keep it evolving. And hopefully we can do another one of these, one day.
Or
we'll come back for sure.
Or maybe we can go on Media Glitch if you guys want some guests on there.
Oh, you know it. We'll bring you in on a topic video.
Oh yeah, for
Perfect.
sure.
I love
I
it.
like. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
guys, we're gonna go ahead and say thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you.
Definitely support us on Patreon / Our View Gaming. And you can, of course, listen to this on all those channels that we spoke to earlier. Other than that, peace out, y'all.
Later.
Peace.